Most anime these days are dominated by these high energetic main characters who scream about never giving up and yell a special attack each time they pull one out. What about the silent guys? The ones who are numb on the outside, full of emotion on the inside, and are still badass enough to be enlisted in a one-man versus army fight. So today we're going to be taking a look at 10 of the best anime with an overpowered yet emotionless main character. The clock's ticking, so without waiting, let's dive right into our list.
この子をあの人たちの手から守ってほしい。後で必ず報酬を払う。これは依頼だ。乾十三。
Now, before you ask me how you can empathize with a guy who has a gun on his head, hear me out. No Gun's life happens in the future where robotic parts are fixed into humans. Juzo Inui is one such human with a gun on his head. Yes, this guy literally has a gun where his head is supposed to be. How does he eat? How does he cut his beard? Well, watch the anime and find out. But don't ignore him because he's got a gun in his head. No Gun's life knows how to build a great backstory to its main character and even does its world building in a much more realistic way. The story also has much more depth. From the first episode itself, you can say it's going to tie into something much bigger and better, and it doesn't disappoint in that regard. So ignore that man with a gun on his head and start binge watching this show. You won't be disappointed. Now, don't tell me I'm pulling off weird main characters here, because when your main character is emotionless, expect some bizarre backstories and appearances. So, to go back to the story, this anime is about a boy, and even though he may have the looks of a child, you have to unleash him on the battlefield to see his true potential. Jonah, even though being a 10-year-old, knows how to perfectly snipe a man from a distance, to kill an army in cold blood, and to even win his boss's affection. Of course, his boss is a complete psychopath as well. Koko Hekmatia is one of the most intriguing characters I've seen in recent anime, and combine her overly cheerful attitude with Jonah's rather emotionless behavior, and you've got this perfect duo right in front of you. The anime may start off with simple heists and car chases, but that's until you realize what the actual meaning of the word Jormungand is. Now, I know this isn't everyone's favorite pick when it comes to action anime. Besides, this one's simple story and interesting art style. You know you have a cool main character when he has a special attack called Excalibur. Saber nostalgia, anyone? Armed Blue GunVolt is the perfect combination of an action and sci-fi show because it adapts elements from both of the genres and mixes them nicely. The main character here is the one to show off his power and be cool about it, and he's definitely going to be your favorites. This anime was adapted from a 2D side-scrolling game, so the elements for the plot have already been built before, and the anime does a simple job of executing them correctly. This one might be a little controversial in reviews, but since we're speaking about an emotional main character, well, I've felt that this one would be a worthy addition because it's one of those shows that I enjoyed when it comes to that niche. We know what it's like to have a dark backstory. It's not the first time you're seeing these types of characters in anime, but imagine one deadly skilled assassin with a tragic past slowly coming face to face with it. And no, I'm not speaking about Spike from Cowboy Bebop, but Train from Black Cat. From the first episode itself, he has this unique way of gripping your attention with a rather tragic backstory, and then never letting go simply because of the events that happened around him. At first, he may seem odd to be coupled with the main characters like Saya, former assassin, slowly trying to abandon his life and rethink what he's done. Not the first time anime has done that, I know, but with Black Cat, it is the first time anime does it with both style and mystery to hook you. Need a story with an emotionless assassin taking the lead? Then no point in waiting, take your popcorn and watch Black Cat. Every time I mention Darker Than Black, there are things I can forget but mention. One is the emotionless main character, or as the fans label him, the Japanese supernatural Batman, and the other is the intricate magic system. Darker Than Black happens in a dystopian Japan with Hell's Gate. With Hell's Gate now dominating the skies, people have the ability to reject their humanity, and no wait, not become a monkey, but to get supernatural powers. With these powers comes supernatural crimes, and you need supernatural detectives to solve those crimes. And that's where our masked main character comes in. He's ruthless, He's cunning, he's the last one to talk in the room, but he's also the first one to hunt down contractors who are on the loose. If you need a detective anime with supernatural mixed in, also with a rather emotionless main character, then Darker Than Black is the show for you.
何これ
Take a break from all that action and mystery and, well, have a break, will you? How about a main character who uses his powers and stays emotionless just for a laugh? And to make things more interesting, this time we have a cute female character taking the lead. So what else could you ask for? It's not every day a vase falls upon your head, and the chances of this vase containing a young girl with supernatural powers, well, it's basically nil. But when these events happen to the Yakuza member, Yoshifumi Nita, he has nothing to do but adopt the girl. And then his whole Yakuza life gets turned upside down. This girl is like a walking nuclear bomb. She may display no emotion, but you've got to know that she's ready to explode, because keep those powers unchecked and, well, the next thing you know, boom. Rather than the action, this anime focuses on the comedic aspects of keeping a supernatural girl in your house. And with those overpowered character moments also comes the smiles and laughs.
お腹減ったご飯あいたたたたたたなんで
お前にムカついたからだ
D クラスは終わりかもしれないね。平田、頼みたいことがあるんだが。
It is rare to see high school anime step away from the common established tropes, so when an exception makes its way, you know it's going to be a good exception. The high school you see in the classroom of the elite is not the one that you should be learning in. Kodo Ikusei Senior High School may seem like a peaceful utopia from the outside, but once you go in, well, you'll realize it's full of competition. Murderous competition. The school's status system is based on the ranks you earn, and you have ample freedom to do whatever you want to increase your rank. Can anyone survive in this murderous competition? Well, our rather plain-looking Ayano Koji seems to be the perfect fit for the school. He may look plain, old, boring, and not the best friend to have, but that's before you realize this kid is a mastermind. Classroom of the Elite, even though it starts off as an anime about high school, soon evolves into something with an intricate plot, Machiavellianist schemes, and characters with debt. We all love those good old revenge stories, right? The ones where the fallen hero comes back overpowered and then goes on a killing spree trying to find the one who murdered his loved ones. And solely because of the popularity of this trope, it is very difficult to execute the concept correctly. And then there's 91 Days, an anime that pulls out a barrage of twists and mysteries to assist its revenge plot and puts all of that on the shoulder of this one emotionless, overpowered main character who chases after the Venetti family. Oh, and they're a mafia family. Did I mention that? It's got guns, lots and lots of blood, and is the ideal combination of a Western show like John Wick and more Japanese ones like Gangster. If you want tension after tension, slowly culminating into this epic showdown between two morally grey characters, then don't wait anymore. Start binge watching this one right now. Here we have another anime with a female main character, but don't expect this one to be as funny as Hinamatsuri. Kara no Kyoukai, or Garden of Sinners, is tied to the Fate franchise and revolves around Shiki Ryogi, who has the mystic eyes of death perception, eyes that can see the lines of death and can cut them, thus ending a person's existence. Since this is related to the Fate universe, it definitely has a well-built magic system, but it is much darker and philosophical than the original series. And also don't forget that this is a set of 7 movies with 2 watch orders. You can either watch it chronologically starting from the 4th movie or watch it in the release order starting from movie 1. Both, however, tie up to a larger mystery that ends up in this mind-blowing climax. The visuals are done by Ufotable, so I don't think you need to think twice about the animation quality in this one. These days, anime is quick to jump into the action, and this leaves off poorly developed characters or a loosely hanging story. But then you've got Dororo, the very definition of anime with an Eastern feel. It's one man's quest to find his missing body parts, and though the premise may sound simple, once you dive into the story, you get to experience something both unique and engaging, and this is based on a very old manga, so it doesn't fall into the regular cliches and pitfalls of much modern anime. Along with Hikimaru's character journey, you also get these story arcs that show both the good and bad sides of humanity. And among all of that is a tale of one man trying to find his past and another coming into conflict with it. Needless to say, when it comes to an anime with an overpowered but emotionless main character, this anime hits all the strings perfectly, and watching this anime is going to be a unique experience you'll never forget. So there goes 10 of the best anime with an overpowered badass who is always the last to show emotion. What makes these guys numb is also what makes them really cool when it comes to their peak character moments. If you want to see more anime watch list analysis videos as well as other fun content related to anime, don't forget to smash that red subscribe button and join the gang. That's it for today, anime fans, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace!